you. You were my first doing this for Carmella Marie. And she asked me to put you on my list and to talk to you about your journey with Carmella Marie and with her.
Oh, wow. What a journey it's been. Tracy, over a quarter of a century ago, I've been friends with Carmella from Youngstown State University. Okay, she was on an African American team, and we got to know one another, would volunteer and do various things. But she was known to me as a kitchen chemist. She was making different things inside of her kitchen for hair and for health, and I was like, what are you doing? What are you making this week? What are you doing? And she came across this hair stuff, and I said, we'll buy anything, She continued to work on it, but everything that she was using was organically based. It was something that she got out of the garden, something that she got from her, parents' garden. It was all organically based and good for you. So time goes on, and the next thing I know, I'm inside of Giant Eagle, and I see Carmella Marie products, and I'm like, what? My gosh, it's phenomenal that she's, moved on up like the Jeffersons, just making it all happen. And so I called her and I said, what's going on? And she says, well, I'm doing a little something. And I'm like, you should, and at that time I was working at WFMJ, and I said, you should come on the show and talk about it. Well, she came on the show and she brought these organic juices that she was making, and pressed juices, and I thought it was the most interesting and fun thing. And she says, now the next thing we want to do for you, Madonna, is work on your hair. And I said, what's wrong with my hair? I said, it's all right, look good. And she said, Madonna, you have a relaxer, right? And I said, yeah. And she said, that's not good for your hair. And I said, yes, it is. I've had it, this for many years. When I was younger, I did have, the straightening comb and mama doing your hair, but I had a relaxer. And she said, that has something in it called lye. And she said, it's a lye, L-I-E, but it's L-Y-E, it's a chemical. And it's not good for your scalp. It's not good for anyone's scalp. And every month, when you put it on to touch up your regrowth, it's damaging your hair follicles. And I'm like, if it was damaging, I wouldn't have any hair. And she says, you have hair. She said, but natural's the way to go. And I said, Carmella, my hair will never be natural. It ain't gonna happen, and thank you. I'm gonna go get my relaxer, pay for my touch-up. Well, let's move on about a year, and I end up getting sick, having some issues with my health, chronic disease, and I had a medication that was making my hair come out, literally. And so I said, maybe I'll just, try something new. I decided I'd get it cut and try the natural route. And I've been natural ever since then, and that was 2008.
So how has that journey, how was the journey?
It was tough. It was tough for me because I said I was never gonna do it, and I'm a woman of my word, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that, and I had to fall on my sword and say, yep, this is a better way. And my hair is much more healthier, it's longer, but every week I get, I go and get my hair done, I get it washed, I wash it, but I use Carmella Marie's products, just a dime size portion of the B3 cream, put it on, and it doesn't weigh it down. It looks great. Matter of fact, I had it in a ponytail, originally, but I said, I need to put it down so people want to touch it, and people are like, oh, is that really your hair? Yes, it is. Thank you. But it's been a tough journey, but a journey that I wouldn't trade for the world, because it's been something that I had to get used to, but I don't mind.
If you had to describe Carmella in one word, what would it be?
Phenomenal.
What makes it phenomenal?
The reason why is because it's all from her mind. All of this birth in the mind of that outstanding woman, okay? She is smart, intelligent, and an extrovert in the truest of ways. So she can make things happen, and all this birth from her mind. And when you do something from your mind, my God, that's God happening. So that's what makes her so phenomenal.